Hello, welcome to the first of a few videos that I wanted to share with you guys about book clubs. As I prepare to relaunch my virtual book club, I just wanted to share a few things about book clubs with you. And in this first video, I wanted to answer the question, what's so great about book clubs? Now, chances are if you're watching this, if you've been drawn to this page, you probably like book clubs or you realize that there are some benefits to them already. But if you don't, or if you have not had the opportunity to experience a book club or be part of one before, hopefully this will give you a few little tips and things behind the scenes of why book clubs can be so great. Now, like I said, there are going to be 3 benefits. I know that there are so many more benefits to book clubs than just 3, but I wanted to keep it brief and just give you a few things to think about. So first of all, book clubs don't have to cost anything. And this is such a great thing because when I first had a book club, this was back many years ago, I was a new mom and I missed my literature classes from college. And it was something that I just wanted to do again. I wanted to be able to get together with other readers and discuss books or stories or something like that. That was just something that I really missed. But new mom, staying home with my daughter, my husband in grad school, I didn't exactly have a book budget. So that is where the library came into play for me in such an amazing way. The library has been a huge part of my life the entire time since I was itty bitty up until now. But in that particular season of my life, it allowed me the opportunity to read more books and to do this book club thing. At the time, we lived in North Carolina, and the library system there had this great program called Book Club Kids. So I would go and they would provide me with however many of the book we needed, along with usually like discussion guides, some discussion questions, maybe even some articles about the author or the book or something like that. So it was fantastic. And of course it was all free. So that was my first book club as an adult, and that's how we did it. And even with my second one, when we moved to Louisiana, we most of the time got books from the library. And it was just a great way to be able to read new books or even some of the old classics that we may not have already had on our shelves, but to do it without having to spend money every month. Because, we can't all do that, or we can't do that in certain seasons of our life. And as great as buying books is, sometimes it's just not something we can do every month. So they don't have to cost anything, and that is super helpful. So the second benefit to book clubs is that books bond people. So 2 examples of this in my own life. First, I will always remember who I read the Guernsey Literary and Potato Peel Pie Society book with. I think I said that title right. It was such a fantastic book. I also will always remember who recommended the book to me. So it was recommended to me by one of my college friends, and I shared that recommendation with my book club, and we read it together, and we loved it, and it was amazing. And just as a side note, for those of you who enjoy movies as well, I feel like the movie really did justice to the book. So yay, because that doesn't always happen. But that's a memory. That's a memory that will always be tied to that book and now the movie, and why it's such a special book to me. So there was that kind of just, I guess, solidified the fact that bonds form and memories form when you read books with other people. The other way this came across is just getting to know the people you're reading the book with in a much deeper way. And the reason for that is when you read a book with someone, you're all going to have different reactions to the book. So someone who read the book may have a completely different understanding of a certain scene, or they may have a different take on a character, and vice versa. I might have seen something a little bit different than what they did, and when we come together as a club, we get to share that, and it intensifies our reading experience, but it also intensifies our friendship and our bond because we're learning more about each other as we share these reactions. So that is another benefit, that books bond people. And finally, books boost several things. First of all, they boost empathy. So when you read books that are about people who maybe are completely different from you or live in a completely different place or time period or something like that, you are becoming a more empathetic person. By reading these books and diving into the characters in them, you are learning about people who you may not get to interact with on a daily basis. So you become more empathetic. Another thing is it boosts experience. So especially the last few years, travel has not been as much of an option as in the past. And when you read books, you're able to travel to places you may never be able to travel to. I experienced this a couple years ago when I read a book set in Iceland. I had never really thought much about Iceland. I mean, I, of course, knew about it, but not a lot, and figured it's a place I'll never get to go there. I'll never get to visit. But through that book, which happened to be a memoir, so it was nonfiction, I was able to learn so much about this amazing country. And it made me want to visit there, of course. But even if I'd never get to travel to Iceland, I feel like I've experienced a little piece of that because I read that book. And I know you probably have similar experiences with books because we can't travel everywhere. And even if it's fiction, you're getting something about different places or time periods or whatever the case may be. Even with something like a fantasy type book, you're getting some experiences there that you wouldn't typically be able to get in real life. And that is a benefit as well. And then finally, books boost expression. What I mean by this is when you are reading books with the intention to share what you think about that book with someone else, you're going to be reading in a deeper way. Because as you read, you're not going to just enjoy the read and when you get done think, oh, I liked that, or oh, I didn't like that, and then not think about the why. You're going to be thinking about the why. You're going to be thinking about what it was about that book that just hit you. You are going to be wanting to share with someone else why you think they would like to read it as well. So, just to recap our 3 benefits of book clubs, and like I said, there are so many more. This is just 3. The first is it doesn't have to cost anything. The second is books bond people. And when you read books together, you are going to be more closely knit, for sure. And then finally, books boost empathy, experience, and expression. So I hope you've enjoyed this video, and I would love to hear about your book club experiences, if you're part of one now or if you ever have been. And if you would like to join a virtual book club, see the link below. This is a free, fun, virtual book club where we get together. We don't have set books every month. We simply get to come together as fellow readers and share what we're reading, what we like about it, and who we think might enjoy it. So I hope to see you there. Have a great day and happy reading.